Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. We have a pretty stacked week coming this week, to be fair, with what was already a decent lineup being supplemented by a few announcements at E3. The dates that we'll be going from are the 18th of June up until the 25th. Okay, with all that said, what's coming out next week? Well, let's find out. We'll start with a few games that are already out then and dropped without any prior warning, and the first of these is Strange Brigade. This of course was announced at E3 and is a third-person shooter with an emphasis on cooperative play and is developed by Rebellion. They themselves have made a good few shooters in the past, such as the Sniper Elite series, Zombie Army Trilogy and Rogue Trooper to name a few. This can be played with one player or with up to 3 teammates in either local wireless or online play. You'll be adventuring as one of 4 agents, tackling the supernatural as you go, picking up powerful weapons and unleashing magical amulets. There are a host of different enemies to defeat and also some puzzles to try and solve. This does have 10% off its asking price up until the 22nd of June, and we have released a performance review of this game. If you want a bit more information, I'll put the link in the top pinned comment. Also announced at E3 was the Doom Eternal Ancient Gods DLC Part 1. This is the first campaign expansion for Doom Eternal and sees you taking on a new mission as you try to restore order to the heavens and unearth the corruption that has thrown the universe into chaos. It looks as if there are 2 options available to you. You can buy Part 1 for £17.99 or you can buy a bundle with Part 1 and Part 2. Of course, Part 2 is not out yet, for £26.99. And also out now is Mushihimesama, which is an arcade shoot 'em up developed by Cave, which came out originally back in 2004. Now I had no idea at all this was coming to the Switch. I don't know if this was announced somewhere in E3 in one of the presentations, but it was quite a pleasant surprise when I saw it on there this morning. This game sees you taking on insect-based enemies and has quite a lovely world for you to shoot your way through, with lots of lush environments. There is a novice mode included, as well as your normal difficulty and an ultra mode for the most experienced of shoot 'em up fans. It's selling for £15.29. The first of the games coming this week then, we have Lilies Quietus of the Night. This is a dark fantasy 2D ARPG that sees players trying to unravel the mystery of the kingdom destroyed by the Reign of Death. You'll need to journey through the different locations, which include a submerged forest, a contaminated underground cavern and a grand castle, taking on bosses and defeating powerful foes. It also says you can release them from their curse to turn them into allies. You can cater the experience to your playstyle with particular skills and customise your stats with relics and tune Lily for seamless gameplay, it says here. This is selling for £21.99 but has 10% off of that price up until launch. Also on the 22nd you have Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. This is of course a remake of the classic game, and the game has received an overhaul with HD graphics, gameplay improvements and animations, and also adds in some brand new levels. It says that you can switch between the new graphical style or a recreation of the original 8-bit artwork at any point, and it also includes a boss rush mode where you get to relive that rock paper scissors moment within the game. This is selling for £14.99, which actually seems pretty reasonable to be fair, and has 10% off of that price up until the 5th of July, that's not bad at all. Then you have Lego Builder's Journey, which sells for £17.99 and is another game that comes out on the 22nd. This describes itself as an atmospheric geometric puzzle game that sees you trying to get through a level brick by brick. It says here sometimes you'll need to follow the instructions and sometimes you'll need to be creative and break the rules in order to get to the end of the stage. Now I'm a huge fan of Lego. My wife and I, we collect sets and we have them on shelves and display cases around the house, and this is definitely a game that interests me, mainly because it's different to the usual Lego games you see, and also I just love seeing Lego bricks in digital form on the screen, as sad as that might sound. The gameplay looks nice and serene, and I do like the idea of having to sometimes step away from the instructions. It'll be interesting to see how that works, and it may well be one that I end up picking up. Next we have the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, the official video game. This is published by Sega and features 18 different sporting events from the Olympic Games, which of course was delayed from last year. Now, I actually own this game. I bought the physical version from Asia when it first came out over there about 18 months ago now, and I must be honest, I really do enjoy it. It's a very good game. The events are fun, the boxing and the table tennis in particular are favourites of mine, and if you were ever a fan of track and field type games, then I'm sure you'll have some fun with this one. This one mentions different costumes that you can wear. It also shows them in the trailer. That wasn't in the version that I've got unless it's been updated since, but it's selling for £34.99, although I have seen the Western physical release that's coming on pre-order for less than that if you do shop around. The next game is called Super Magbot, which comes from Team 17, and this one does actually have a demo on the eShop I've just seen. This is a 2D platformer with a twist in that you are not allowed to jump. Instead, you must master your magnetic powers to get to the end of each stage. You'll have to use the power of magnetic attraction to pull yourself towards platforms, or repel yourself at times to boost yourself into the air. There are star fragments to collect, and it reminds me in some respects of Super Meat Boy, the idea of having to get through a hazardous stage, albeit this one has a slightly different twist in terms of the mechanics. It's selling for £14.99 and comes out again on the 22nd.
As you can see, when I'm at the top of my game, it truly is a sight to behold. Let's see if you're smart enough to master the power of magnets.
Next you have Worms Rumble, another game by Team 17, and this is an arena-based cross-platform combat game with 32 players able to compete online at once. It has modes such as Deathmatch and Last Worm Standing, and features a variety of the classic weapons from the Worms franchise. There are also seasonal and community events, and daily challenges for additional XP and in-game rewards. Now, as much as I love Worms and have been a big fan of the series over the years, this one doesn't appeal to me personally, and I must say, even watching the trailer, it did look as if there was some stutter present there. It's selling for £10.99 though, which isn't a bad price, and it has 25% off of that price up until launch if you are interested. The next one, and I'm going to struggle to pronounce this is the Dungeon of Naheulbeuk, I think. The Amulet of Chaos. This is probably a really well-known game and people can't believe that I don't know what that's called, but there you have it, that's the way it goes, and it says this is a tactical RPG full of charm, humour and crazy characters. You play with 7 classic role-playing game characters, complementing each other's skills as you level them up. You have a ranger, an elf, a dwarf, a barbarian, a magician, an ogre and a thief. Each character has their own skill tree to upgrade abilities and equipment. It mentions turn-based battling with creative support mechanics and an adaptive difficulty system. There is no trailer on the eShop unfortunately, so I'm going just from the screenshots, which do look pretty nice to be fair. Hopefully I've found a trailer and you are watching that now, but it sells for £40.49 and comes out on the 24th.
At least he's easy to follow with those tiny legs. Gotcha!
Kill me now.
Next you have The Legend of Mana, which is a HD remaster of the classic game from 1999, which came out for the PlayStation. I think I'm right in saying that this game was different to the other games in the Mana series, in that you didn't have a fixed world as such, and instead you picked up items called artifacts that kind of shaped the world around you. Battling takes place in real time, and I must say I do really love the pixelated look of the characters set against the hand-drawn backgrounds. It says here that the music has been rearranged for this remaster, that you can alternate between the new and original soundtrack. There is the ability to turn off enemy encounters, and there is a mini-game in this version, never seen before, called Ring Ring Land. It's selling for £24.99 and comes out on the 24th. Then on the 25th you have Mario Golf Super Rush. This is the first Mario Golf game on a home console since Toadstool Tour for the GameCube, although handheld wise there was one on the 3DS a few years back. This got a bit more time in the spotlight at E3 the other day, and whilst it's not one I'm necessarily looking at the moment, I do like the idea that it has an adventure or story mode in it. I think it was the Game Boy Color version of Mario Golf that had something similar. That from me does certainly elevate it up to something that I'd look to buy in the future for sure. You can use the motion control in the Joy-Cons, holding them like a golf club to swing, or you can just use the buttons. And it of course has that speed golf mode where it's kind of a free-for-all and you need to be the first to try and get to the ball. It's selling for your standard Nintendo price of £49.99 and I'm sure there'll be a fair few people picking this one up.
In addition to button controls, you can also use motion controls by holding a Joy-Con controller like a golf club. Gently swing the controller to have your character swing in the game, letting you...
And the final one then for this week, whilst we knew it was coming, it had its date confirmed at E3 the other day. This is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. This brings together the two classic games in one collection, rebuilt to include HD. It says you have the original Pro roster, including of course Tony Hawk, plus new pros. The soundtrack is as it was back then, with some new music also included, and you can play all of the original game modes as well as going head to head in local 2-player, and you can also go online and compete against players from around the world. This one is selling for £39.99 and is also out on the 25th, which is next Friday. So there you have it then, a week of Nintendo Switch releases. I think it's fair to say this is a very good week with some heavy hitters in there for sure. Do any of these games interest you? Please do let us know in the comment section below. There'll be a link in the top pinned comment to that Strange Brigade performance review, as well as another video we did looking at our top picks from Nintendo's E3 Direct. A quick thank you to our Patreons as always for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, stay safe of course, and until next time, happy gaming.